Over to the show, the real show, the official show. Sorry about that false start. 5-yard penalty. A repeat first down. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mark Farzetta. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend as long as you weren't watching the Phillies. You know who did have a great weekend? The Philadelphia Eagles, who won their Super Bowl rings. And there is actually, believe it or not, two things. One of absolute substance. Two, some nice substance that went on at the Eagles ring ceremony. And I'm going to jump into them right now. Here's what I loved. Here's what I absolutely love. First off, the ring itself is just holy pots and pans. Incredible. When I saw that the wings actually shoot out, you push a little button and they shoot out there, that's pretty amazing. You see the guys get them. The rings are incredible. They're all excited. They're having themselves a great time. Love it for them. But there's two things of significance. One, Darius Slay was back in town to get his Super Bowl ring, obviously. That was nice. But he took a picture with Keely Ringo, and it said, passing the baton. That was what he put on the photo, passing the baton. There's something, food for thought. I mean, Darius Slay's the one that, after all, kind of already reported that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson wasn't going to be back when he dry snitched the situation, saying, well, you know, the leaders in the backfield or leaders in the secondary are this, that, and the other. And you didn't mention Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Like 3 days later, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he gone. He goes to Houston. So then he puts it out there with the apparent battle between Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson and a smattering of Cooper DeJean at the outside corner spot. Keely Ringo could be the guy receiving the baton from Darius Slay as the starting outside corner opposite Quinyon Mitchell. Thought that was interesting, a little behind-the-scenes goings on with a social media post from Darius Slay. Then I see A.J. Brown in a video released by the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, let's just keep in mind, A.J. Brown is the guy that maybe a couple of hours after the Super Bowl, maybe a day after the Super Bowl, his attitude was, man, you work your whole life to get to this point, to win the Super Bowl, to be crowned a champion. And that's it. That's all. That's all there is to. That's really this is it. Like it wasn't as great and as jovial and joyous atop the mountain for as long as he expected it to be. Like he loved the thrill, but was kind of over it rather quick. And at the time, I even said, hey, I love that. I want this guy just wanted to get back there, like have that experience for all, albeit, at least in his opinion, for as quick as it went. Hey, get it again. Does he still have that hunger to do it again? And at the ring presentation, the Eagles cameras got him. I can't remember who he went up to, but he said, hey, as he's looking at his ring, he goes, I know this was really hard, or I know this wasn't easy, but we got to do this again. And for the fact that it was A.J. Brown that they caught saying that, for a guy that, again, thought that the celebration was so fleeting after actually achieving the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl, I like that idea, kind of revisiting, like, no. This is what it's all about. Getting this. What's the next one? You push a button and it actually flies? Like what's the next? You push a button, wings jet out of this one. Next year, they fly. They actually physically fly. They're actually going to be drones. They're just going to be drones that you wear on your finger, and you could fly around to whatever practice field you're supposed to be on any given day. That'll be what it is. They'll be wearing on their practice. They'll be safe to play. When I saw that the wing shot out, that did blow my mind. I was like, okay, that's kind of badass. I really like that. I haven't done a deep dive on championship rings or anything like that, but I would assume these are the only ones. These are the only ones that I've seen that have like go gadget wings. You know what I mean? Pretty cool. So I thought those were some interesting takeaways from the ring ceremony. I didn't expect to have interesting takeaways from the ring ceremony, but a passing of the baton to another outside corner. Okay, maybe there's something there. And then definitely A.J. Brown getting back in touch with the excitement that he had when he won the Super Bowl. And now he's got a nice little reminder of that every single day. He can look at that ring, hopefully in a safe place in the house, not wearing it around town or anything. Just a safe place. And, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's go get that again. And then maybe when the banner is unfurled at Lincoln Financial Field, maybe that'll be a nice other reminder. Because that's really going to be the last moment that anyone is hopefully on that team that's thinking about last year. Like, yeah, we did that. That's cool. Let's go do it again. That's all I want to hear from it. And I'll also reference again the Jalen Hurts' comments after winning the Super Bowl about how he talked about it like it was an inconvenience. I was busy winning that Super Bowl. Now I'm delayed on my offseason regimen. Oh, drat. How do you not love that guy? How do you not love that guy? So congratulations to Philadelphia. I just can't get over these. These are so unbelievably badass. Good. And Jason of Beverly Hills. I mean, who hasn't, right? Am I right, you guys? Am I right? Anyway, that was fun. That was exciting. That was good stuff over the weekend. The bad stuff over the weekend is your Philadelphia Phillies. That was the bad stuff over the weekend. Did not like that over the weekend. Phillies come back from the All-Star break. They dropped 2 of 3 to the Los Angeles Angels. And Ranger Suarez yesterday scared me. Now, I've been waiting. Now, Ranger Suarez doesn't have like 3 Cy Youngs in his back pocket, you know? He is, unfortunately, throughout his career, had great inconsistencies. He has had like ERAs of like 109, and then the next month, he's got like an ERA of 4, 5. And that's 4 ain't terrible, but it ain't the Ranger Suarez that we've come to know and love during his wild hot streaks. And this is something that has been on my mind. These are numbers from Ranger Suarez last year. March didn't really pitch a lot, but had the 5.40 ERA. Then you see him with the 0.75 ERA in April. Before, 2.32 is still pretty damn good in May. And then in June, 3.48. Like, I don't like the way this is trending. July, 6.61 ERA. August 5, September 6.04. This has been on my mind. With Ranger Suarez pitching as well as he has pitched in his career, he definitely comes back down to earth. Now, you can talk about the back issue. You can talk about not staying in shape, as I've heard from people inside. That can be an issue for Ranger Suarez. So this has been in the back of my mind. Now, yesterday might not be the fairest example of what he has to offer going forward, being that there was a rain delay. I'm not saying it's everything, but I'm not saying it's nothing. It's certainly not nothing. I am saying it's not nothing. I also look at, even for him, like velocity, I don't really track too much for him because I understand it's going to be around 91. Little tiny dip in philosophy, like 1 mile per hour. Nothing that I'm going to be concerned about, just something to keep an eye on, I guess. And I've had it in the back of my mind. Also, 3 earned runs in his last start. I look at the 6 earned runs that he allowed yesterday. The inability to locate his changeup, and they highlighted it during the broadcast. He had thrown 13 changeups at one point, or by the time he threw 13 changeups, he only dropped 2 of them in there for strikes. So if you're only throwing 2 of them for strikes, that means that the opposing team is either picking up something they realize when you're going to throw it, and if you're not dropping it in for a strike every once in a while, then there's no way they're going to swing at it. So you're not fooling anybody, in other words. And the 100 pitches through 4 1/3 is very concerning when you talk about Ranger Suarez. Now, I'd love to just look at this and go, oh, well, the rain delay, his first start in 9 days, a little herky-jerkiness to the game. He gets started. Shonenwell has he fouls the ball off his knee. You stop. Then he gets hit by a pitch. You stop again. Trainers come out. There was a little, if you're a starting pitcher, you might have trouble getting into a rhythm. I'm not saying it caused 6 earned runs, but I'm saying it certainly did not help Ranger Suarez in his outing. His next start is going to tell us a lot. Now, they have the off day Thursday, so an extra day. You could look at it like that. But the next start is going to tell us a lot about Ranger Suarez and the type of second half of the season he is going to have, because again, you look at these numbers, cause for concern. Even 2 years ago, we looked at Ranger Suarez struggle when he came out, settled in nicely for a month, had another historic ERA, then got hit, then settled in, then got hit. So wild inconsistencies. And if there's anything we can count on with this Philadelphia Phillies team, it is wild inconsistencies. hate the old joke, but it certainly applies. They are consistent at being inconsistent. And away from the starting pitching yesterday, and really throughout this series, the starting pitching was nothing worth bragging about. Good Lord. Between Jesus Luzardo, Taijuan Walker, who would have thought Taijuan Walker was like your sight for sore eyes? But in this series against the Angels, Luzardo, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs earned. Taijuan Walker, 4 innings, 9 hits. Good Lord, 3 runs. Ran into trouble in that 4th inning. Ranger Suarez, another guy that couldn't get 5 innings logged. 4 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned in yesterday's game. And by the way, a total of 7 walks in these 3 games. Wildly inconsistent, especially for Ranger Suarez, who walked 4 yesterday. Part of the reason 100 pitches was needed for him to get through 4 1/3. So the pitching in this game, in this series, no bueno. Scored 5 runs in game 1. Scored 9 runs in game 2. 2 yesterday. And one of those came courtesy of Otto Kemp hitting his 2nd home run of the season. This is another opportunity to point out that over the next 10 days before the trade deadline, Dave Dombrowski, old Dombro, as Bryce Harper likes to call him, is the most important person in Philadelphia sports for now the next 10 days. He has re-signed to the Philadelphia Phillies for now what will be his 3rd stint with the Philadelphia Phillies. Is 40-year-old right-handed pitcher David Robertson, who last pitched for the Texas Rangers last year and had an ERA of 3. I'm not excited about it in any way, shape, or form. It's not like incredible to me by any means. I don't love it, but okay. Sure. You saw him pitch. You saw him work out. You thought, well, we could use somebody that is coming in high leverage situations. Maybe this means we won't have to use Jordan Romano earlier in the game. Maybe this means we won't have to use Joe Ross earlier in the game, even though you're going to use him a little bit more as a long man out of the bullpen. Add another righty, fine. It's not going to be that hard to be better than what you got. You're going to get Jose Alvarado back for a brief period of time, and he's apparently fallen off the face of the earth. That'll at least help you secure a better playoff seed, hopefully. But where's the other lefty? Who else is going to be helping you down the stretch? Because what I'm seeing right now from this Phillies team, this ain't it still. There's no guarantee. Look, I understand nobody you guys are guaranteed upgrade, but yeah, there's guys that you feel pretty damn good about. Manuel Clase is, I feel pretty damn good about that. But this is just it feels more of a body move than it feels like an upgrade. And I really hope David Robertson goes out there and proves, there's a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade for the Phils. But he's 40 years old now. ERA of 3 last year, as we all know, for the Rangers, pitched last year. Did not pitch an incredible amount. Turned 40 at the beginning of the year, so that's somewhat of a positive. Obviously, a long career with the Yankees before bouncing around a bit. Like I said, this is his 3rd stint with the Phils. He appeared in 68 games last year at a 3-4 record. ERA at a flat, even 3. Pitched in 2023 for the Mets, the Marlins, before going to the Rangers last year. When he was with the Phillies, he had an ERA of 2.70 in 2022. Prior to that, in 2019, a year that we'd like to forget about, 7 games he appeared in, 5.40 ERA. So an ERA of 2.70 coming out of the bullpen in 22 games for the Phillies in 2022. I'd love to see that again. And even an ERA of 3 that he had last year with the Rangers. Love to see it again. There's a reason why he was available right now, though. And all you had to do was sign him. $6 million. The word on the street was that it was after 10. The Phillies got him for 6. It's hard to say any acquisition would be a downgrade to what the Philadelphia Phillies have in the bullpen. This, it feels more like a body than it does this is great. Like, I don't know anyone, I didn't see anybody that was on social media, even as bad as it's been for the Phillies bullpen. I don't know anyone that's been like, oh, yeah, this is it. They got, now, this is the piece. No, they still need more. Keep going, Dave Dombrowski. I don't hate this. I know there's some people that might just automatically just roll their eyes at it. I don't hate it. At least it's trying to address an issue. To me, they need another bullpen piece, someone you feel like you could use in high leverage situations late in games, and they need somebody else that's going to shake up this lineup. One of the interesting things from this Angels series is that Taylor Ward, left fielder, who I know we're all coveted, right-handed bat, hit 2 home runs in this series, 3 doubles, 8 RBIs he had in this one. There's rumors out there about whether or not the Phillies could be interested. You're looking at a 231 batting average. You're looking at a 304 on base percentage. You're looking at 23 home runs on the season and a guy who's played plenty in left field. The 223 batting average is not going to go over well. At about 130 strikeouts, 40 strikeouts last year. Hey, it ain't 200. But if you're going to be adding a 231 batting average to this lineup, I know a lot of other people are going to look at this. I know also only a 304 on base percentage. Those both are worse numbers than Nick Castellanos, for instance. So power numbers certainly are more attractive than Castellanos. 23 to 16, I believe he's at now in the year. This is he's a left fielder. There's another bat in the lineup. He's an everyday player. Right-handed bat. Still doesn't do it for me. To me, that would be another addition of a free swinger in the Phillies lineup. Somebody who doesn't hit for average, somebody who doesn't get on base, somebody that absolutely does hit for power. But I know he had a good series against Phillies, but that doesn't make me go, I gotta make sure the Phillies gotta get him. I'm not in that boat. I would still love a guy that has a great approach to the plate, has production, can steal bases, can play left field at a Gold Glove level. If the Phillies somehow could get Stephen Kwan, I thought it was a great suggestion. I'm a fan of Jeff Passan anyway, but thought it was a great suggestion 2 weeks ago by Jeff Passan on the idea of, Emmanuel Clase and Stephen Kwan. But if even Stephen Kwan can come in here and be a top-of-the-order guy. I'll be honest, I don't like Kyle Schwarber batting second. I would love Kyle Schwarber to bat clean up. I would love for Bryce Harper to stay at the 3 spot. That means you need another table setter. And we know it's not Bryson Stott, unfortunately. I'd love to see guys like Stephen Kwan bat second in this lineup. Move everybody down a spot. Would love to see it. It was funny. I was about Bryson Stott. My father-in-law, who's a big Guardians fan, grew up a big Cleveland baseball fan. I was explaining to him like like Bryson Stott. Like Bryson Stott has everything you want in a baseball player except for production. Like he could play a Gold Glove level caliber second base. He could drive the 8-pitch bat. He can drive the pitch count up, and then he'll roll over one and ground out to second base. Just do that all the time. Everything is great except for the production, which is kind of what matters about at the plate. The production at the plate. Obviously, he produces in the field, but at the plate, does everything right except for get a hit. Does everything right except for work that well. I mean, you can still get on base, but even that are few and far between nowadays with him. So I know he's been out of the mind as far as anyone that could bat in the top of the order again, but you need someone that is going to be able to come in here and move everybody else down a peg in this lineup. And I think that perfect person, and not going to be a free swinger, going to have production at the plate, getting on base, having that up there in the order and still down in the middle of the order as well would change a lot of things. And if the Phillies are able to look, David Robertson is a great step. It's a nice step in the right direction. Adding another bullpen piece for the back end would be a great step. Adding another bat to this lineup that has a different approach than many others. Here's another thing. You had a veteran guy that hasn't been swayed in a wrong direction by Kevin Long, for those who hate Kevin Long. Could be a very good thing for this lineup. And maybe he starts talking to other guys about his approach to the plate and how he gets the production. That would be a great thing. That would be a great thing for this Phillies team. There was one more thing from this series that I wanted to get to. Oh, Saturday night. Hey, look, they lost the series, but the game they did win in this series, that was a lot of fun. Yesterday's game was excruciating. That's the word I would use to describe watching yesterday's Phillies game. Excruciating. Saturday's game, that was a good time. That was a good time. Kyle Schwarber's grand slam, fantastic. Bryce Harper hitting his 4th home run in 6 games, fantastic. And then yesterday, just kind of things come crashing down. Not a great day for this Phillies squad. If you look at the lineup yesterday, Turner got a hit, Schwarber got a hit. Harper struck out twice, 0 for 4. Castellanos 0 for 4. Marsh got a hit. Good to see that. Kemp had the 2-hit day. All in all, what a 1 for 5 day with runners in scoring position. Some frustration on the base paths yesterday from the Phillies. First and second, 1 out, first inning. Castellanos grounds into the double play. Thank you, Nick. Brandon Marsh, leadoff single in the 2nd inning. Basically went station to station on ground outs to 2nd, then to 3rd on back-to-back ground outs. Rafael Marchand came up with the first run of the game for the Phillies with an RBI single to center field. Phillies would find themselves later down in a 6-1 hole. Otto Kemp made it 7-2 with his second home run of the season in the 6th. There was one instance that if you had to nail down a real big turning point, it certainly led to a lot of the runs Ranger Suarez gave up yesterday. It was in that 2nd inning. There's 2 outs in the inning. Bases are loaded. Mike Trout's at the plate. 3-2 pitch. Jastrzynski was the home plate umpire. Now, let's pause it right there for a second. Steven Jastrzynski, they said during the broadcast, was umpiring games in Canada when he was 9 years old. For those that don't know, I was a basketball referee in my youth. I wasn't 9. I was young, younger than some people might think a referee would be. I was 15. But I was 15 reffing like 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds. Okay? They basically just got the guy that ran the league, got players that used to play for him. It was like, hey, you could ref. You go ref. You know, it's like a rec league. But then I started actually reffing. After that, it was a good jumping off point. Made some money as a kid. But yeah, they said on the broadcast yesterday to make a few extra bucks, the home plate umpire umpired games at 9 years old. Okay. Who was he umpiring? T-ball? Okay. All right. Good for him, I guess. He's a umpiring prodigy. So now, back to yesterday's game. 2nd inning, 2 outs, bases loaded. Mike Trout at the plate. This guy has been reffing since he was 9 years old. Calls a pitch that he'd called a strike all day. Well, he would call a strike all day long. Calls it a ball on Mike Trout. Walks in a run. You go from 1-0 to 2-0. Then, what did you know? Our boy Taylor Ward, future Philly in some people's minds. Taylor Ward comes up, and he smacks a bases-clearing double into left center field. You're now down 5-0. Should have been out of the inning with the score 1-0. It went from 1-0, 2-0, 5-0. All because of a missed call. Later got Adele to ground out to shortstop. So if there was a turning point in the game, that would be the turning point. And if you just want to take things chronologically in this game, then if he makes the right call, Phillies tie the game 1-1 in the bottom of the second inning, and then it maybe is a little bit of a different story after that. Bryce Harper showed his frustration with his last at-bat of the game. I want to say that was in the 8th inning. It was. He was on a 3-0 count in the 8th inning. I mean, again, at the time, it's 8-2. But Harper's at the plate with 1 out, goes up in the count 3-0, takes the pitch high, strike 1. So that's 3-1. Fouls a pitch away, then goes down looking at a high fastball. And just twice. I thought on the second one he was going to get ejected, but he just went like whatever. Like did the hand motion, very dismissing of Jasinski behind the plate. And he didn't get thrown out. Good. That was a good call by the home plate umpire to not throw him out of the game for that. Yeah. Doesn't mean you're not going to see him again. You're good. You're good, man. But yeah, as far as the rest of this, the pitching staff went yesterday. Mentioned Joe Ross, 3 hits, 1 run. Did give up a walk, 2 strikeouts. Seth Johnson, Jordan Romano, 6 pitches for Jordan Romano. Good for you, man. Max Lazar, 1 inning, 1 hit yesterday. Phillies now have a 3-game series in South Philadelphia against the Boston Red Sox, so they stay in the American League for the first 3 series after the All-Star break. They got the Angels. Obviously, lost that series. Then 3 games against the Red Sox in South Philly. Zach Wheeler gets the ball today against Walker Buehler, who's had a rough go of it this season. And then they got 3 in New York against the Yankees. Then they got 3 in Chicago against the White Sox. So they're getting their fill of the American League. No doubt about that. 6:45 start time tonight for the Phillies. Looking forward to it. The road to getting back into, I don't know. Zach Wheeler, help. Please help, Zach Wheeler. Please help us. All right. Before I get into the chat check, let me tell you about the Game Time app. Want to go to the game, the concert, the comedy show? Game Time app has you covered. So do what I do. Take advantage of all they have to offer in the Game Time app. Download the app, create an account, use promo code FARS to get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. How about this Game Time Picks feature? How incredible is this? Filters out all the fluff so you get right down to it. The best seats at the best prices on the Game Time app. So once again, download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code FARSY, get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Let's get into the chat check. April, someone called PJ Marcus. PJ, love the dude. He worked with us with Seth Joyner and Derek Gunn for our pre- and post-game show last football season. Hope to see him again this year. Tate, welcome back, peoples. If welcome back means after the first attempt of doing the show today, yes, welcome back. April, the ring is insane. Small details are crazy. You know, some might look at this and be like, oh, come on, these are a little carried away. Yeah, I agree. But while they exist, I'm going to enjoy them. And they are absolutely bonkers insane. 2 Super Bowl championships, obviously, for this Eagles team. If you're looking at that top and you're Jalen Hurts or you're A.J. Brown or you're Jalen Carter, you're thinking about just adding it. And how about Jake Elliott, Rick Lovato, Brandon Graham, and Lane Johnson? Both those Lombardi trophies at the top of this ring, you got both of them. You got both of them. That's pretty baller, if you ask me. Jerry Von Skyver, good morning. Good morning. I guess Dave Dombrowski has finished looking for bullpen help after he found a 40-year-old David Robertson. Robertson had a good year last year. No one picked him up. 90 Ks, 70 innings pitched. You could tell me 100 strikeouts in 2 innings. You know, something crazy. Obviously impossible. Well, not impossible. I'll drop 30 strikes there. The fact that he's just sitting there and the trade deadline is 10 days away and nobody else picked him up, that's what makes me go, I don't know about that. Hey, if his third stint with the Phillies is like his second stint with the Phillies, then we're good. If his third stint with the Phillies is like his first stint with the Phillies, oh, that's bad. That's very bad. So I'm not going to like that. But the thing that is the overriding question of everything is, why was he available? The Phillies aren't the only team in Major League Baseball. The Angels don't have a good bullpen. Like what? Not that they're in it, But why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't any team with a bad bullpen just pick him? He's just right there. You just pick him up. He's there. I don't know. I'm going to convince myself in the next day or two that it's because he just really wanted to be in Philly, and John Middleton doesn't give a damn about money, and just like, oh, you want 10? How about 6? Everyone else offering 3? I'll give you 6. Sean Kilrain, good morning. What's going on? Sean Gillespie, hello. Rye, what's up, Rye? Nice to see you. Farzy and friends, round 2. I know, right? There you go. Got lucky and got the show reset. Right? Right, Sean? Here we are. April was hoping to avoid the post-All-Star slump, but here we are. Jerry Von Skyver, will the real Ranger Suarez please stand up? Please stand up. I'd love that. Because, hey, you know when the bats are wildly inconsistent, you need something to be consistent. And most of the time, we know it's been consistent, the Phillies pitching. Seeing Jesus Luzardo, Taijuan Walker, and Ranger Suarez, like seeing Taijuan Walker have the best start of these 3. Didn't have that one on my bingo card, Johnny. Joe Witt, what the hell is Dombrowski doing? David Robertson? I know. When I saw it yesterday, I went, this is not going to be a popular. Even for the people that say the bullpen sucks, and we have said many times the bullpen sucks, it's hard to not look at any acquisition and go like, that's probably an upgrade, because that's how bad it's been with the bullpen. I got to say, I'm not with everyone else that this is just a horrible signing. I am willing to try many things as long as this isn't just the deal. This isn't it. Like in 2 weeks, or I should say in 11 days, I don't want to hear Dave. Here's where I'm going to hate this, okay? If Dave Dombrowski is at the deadline and this is the move they made for the bullpen, I'm going to be like, David, no. Dombro, this ain't it. Then I'll be pissed off. But if this is the first acquisition to the bullpen of at least 2, then okay. I'm very curious to see what else he's got. Because this at least goes, all right, well, we have to acknowledge a problem in the bullpen. This is one way to acknowledge it. Now what's the other way to acknowledge it? Because there better be another way to acknowledge it. I'm not going to lose my mind right now over it. Upgrading from what you've had, that ain't great. That's not difficult. So Dave Dombrowski signing David Robertson doesn't hit the ears well, but bullpen acquisition with a veteran arm to a struggling bullpen, okay. All right. Joe, by the way, this is not a playoff team. Put a fork in them. They're still making the playoffs. They're not going to do much in the playoffs. They're not going to do anything in the playoffs. But they're still going to make the playoffs. Oh, 3-0. What's up, man? Nice to see you. Brian, as far as you crazy, Philly's not adding nobody worth a damn. Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't see them making, like Clase, for instance, is one that would raise a lot of people's eyebrows. I don't see him making that move. I would hope that the failure of the last 3 years and the downward trend the Phillies have been on would light a fire under Dave Dombrowski's ass. I think John Middleton would be like, yeah, what do you got to pay a guy? All right, we'll pay him. Look, we're already in this deep financially. I might as well just go in a little deeper and then come away with a victory. Joe, how about finding hitters that can hit with men on base? That'd be great. I'd love seeing that. That's going to be more difficult to add. I know we need power in this lineup. However, Stephen Kwan is the kind of player we need inside. Thank you, Jeremy. I was against it earlier, but they need to pursue Kwan, Clase, hopefully keeping Painter. I agree with that. I don't want someone that thinks like Nick Castellanos. I don't even want somebody that thinks like Alec Boehm. By the way, that's one thing I didn't mention. Alec Boehm going on the IL. I don't understand how you can get a cracked rib, go through the All-Star break, and don't do anything about it. Comes out and plays, so now you can't retroactivate his date because he played. Makes no sense. But yes, I want someone that thinks differently. I want someone that's going to think like Bryson Stott and have production. That's like a perfect baseball player. Wait, his approach is great. He gets on base with production. Oh my God. And an all-star Gold Glove outfielder? Yes, please. Ken Saad, what's going on? Good morning. God bless. How you doing? CM Punk, how you doing? Umpire prodigy. Amazing. Right? This guy, you see the way he called balls and strikes without replay? By the way, this yesterday. So if you watch the All-Star game or even just saw how they implemented the robo-umps, whatever, like they did in spring training, what are we doing? What are we doing? It was great. I loved it. Next year, they're supposed to have it. They should not have it for a long time. They should have been done that. Daniel, hello. Happy Monday. Really? Has anyone ever said happy Monday? Cam Newton's definition of hater. He had his moment in the sun and didn't capitalize. He was never the same and couldn't learn from his mistakes. Sean Kilrain. I really don't pay much attention to Cam Newton. Really liked him as a player. Don't really have much time for his opinions on sports. Rank whatever list makes you feel. I didn't see. Did Cam Newton do a list? Jeez. Here we go. Another list. Let me do the thing here. More of why I don't give a damn about what Cam Newton has to say. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. Okay, I gotta throw up. Thank you, Sean. And thank you for telling me though, because it's good that I at least know it exists. Right, hey, don't Eagles win their fourth Super Bowl and Eagles win their fourth Super Bowl or WNBA team wins first championship. Eagles win their fourth Super Bowl. Why y'all make your rings too big? Can't enjoy wearing it. Well, I think that's kind of the point. They don't wear it. Aiden Miller hitting 230 in Reading. Not exactly stellar. Crawford 320 in Lehigh Valley. Well, then that's dipped greatly. Aiden Miller, they're like, oh, yeah, he's really figured it out. And then I looked at his numbers. And when I looked at his numbers, it was like he was hitting like 167 or something. Where did I write that? I thought I wrote that. I thought I wrote that down. Uh, 196. Aiden Miller was hitting 196 with a 361 on base percentage. This was like 2 weeks ago. And if that's Justin Crawford's average now, then yeah, that's dipped from the 343 it was at. Eagles win their fourth Super Bowl. There you go. I'm sorry. Lister just to stir the pot. I agree. Well, the 2017 players were wearing their first one. Oh, yes, they were. They were wearing it. But that's the ring ceremony. They don't wear it like out and about. Right. Can't wait to see how small rings look on Big Dom sausages. That's funny. That's great. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Yesterday, Phillies lost 8-2. Of course, they're going to be back at it for a 3-game series against the Boston Red Sox tonight. 6:45 start time. Walker Buehler on the hill against Zach Wheeler. Zach, an all-star, didn't pitch in the all-star game, as we all know. Phillies look to avoid losing their fourth straight series and hopefully get things started off on the right foot. Wheeler approaches this game 9-3 on the season with a 2.36 ERA, coming off a 4-run, 6-inning performance back on the 12th from against the San Diego Padres, and he'll look to get back on track right away in his first game since the All-Star break. As for Walker Buehler, yeah, not a great year for Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler enters this one 6-6 on the season with a 6.12 ERA. His last start against Tampa Bay Rays, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 long balls, 3 walks. Previous to that, Nationals took him for 3 runs. Only 2 of them were earned over 5 innings. Lasted 4 innings against the Toronto Blue Jays, allowing 4 runs, all earned, 2 home runs, 3 walks. The Angels, he faced him back on the 23rd. He walked 7 against the Angels. That's who they're facing tonight. Jameson, how you doing? Farzy be good. Nice to see you. James Jones. Farzy be good. Hail to the Washington football team. There you go. Thanks everybody in the chat. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for sticking it out the first 5 minutes of the show when I had to restart everything. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be back with you guys today with Locked On 76ers. Got that going on today. Locked On Eagles squad will be today at noon. I'm sure we'll be touching on that Cam Newton list. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back with you guys throughout the day today. And also postcast tonight following the Phillies game. So I'll see you guys hopefully after a Phillies victory tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back with you guys tonight. See you.